Hey everyone, my name is Sierra Nicole. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm going to be going over what causes PTSD, the symptoms, what kind of is happening in a person's body when they have PTSD in the body and the brain, and some things a person can do to cope. I would like to also take a few seconds kind of just to dedicate this topic to anyone who's ever kind of just been on the edge of life and death, because you're here for a reason just like I am, so this is for you. So PTSD, otherwise known as post-traumatic stress disorder, is a relevant topic for me because I've experienced with it personally. There was a point in my life where I actually attempted suicide because of effects of past trauma. I have since educated myself and have had my hope and faith restored in life. Healing is possible, and I think that PTSD is a vital topic because it can't be seen with the naked eye, so I think people should be informed about it. My photo, which I cannot take credit for, I don't actually know where it came from. I found it on the internet, but I cannot take credit for this photo. It's an iceberg and a human head. I chose this photo because you can't always see what's going on below the surface of the person. You can only just see what's going on the outside, and it's just so deep what's happening with PTSD. There's just so much stuff happening under the surface: anxiety, depression, flashbacks, just so many different things. The list goes on and on. But I thought that was just such a great representation, just the tip of the iceberg, basically. Like, you see someone panicking, you don't even know what's really going on with them. So I just thought that was a perfect representation. Let's see. Yeah, so basically I chose this topic because life is worth fighting for, to sum it up. Okay, so how does one end up with PTSD? Well, a person would have had to have been severely traumatized by something at some point in their life, or they would have had to witness something severely traumatic or disturbing, or have had something painful or traumatizing or disturbing happen to them. Some examples would be an accident, a rape, abuse, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but I've gone too far to start re-recording now. Child abuse, basically accidents, medical conditions, sexual abuse, violence, neglect, natural disasters, war, injustice. This topic is obviously just really hard to talk about, but there's a lot of things that can cause a person to have PTSD. Basically, anything traumatic, whatever traumatizes a person, like the loss of a child, the loss of a loved one, something that traumatizes you is, going to cause you to have PTSD. So, anyways, probably going to lose points for that part. I've personally experienced some of those things. So, when a person experiences trauma, trauma actually stores differently in the brain. So the physiology is actually really interesting. Your body, as time goes on, you can get stuck in fight, flight, or freeze mode a lot, which can raise your cortisol levels, which means your stress goes up, which means you're just basically always stressed out. You can be really hypervigilant. You can basically always just be on edge, which is not good for your body at all. A lot of different stuff is going on in your mind. So if anyone's interested in researching about that. Some other things that a person might be experiencing with PTSD would be behavior changes, night terrors, flashbacks, some things that some behaviors they might be turning to might be like self-harm, suicide attempts, eating disorders. They might experience depression, anxiety, panic attacks. They might experience, depending on what the situation is, survivor's guilt, self-hatred, stuff like that. It just really depends. Everyone's situation is different. No one can exactly put themselves in one another's shoes. You can always try, but all you can really do is be supportive to each other, because you really don't know what it's like to have experienced what another person has experienced. You can really just be supportive and just, be there for each other. So, some things a person can do to cope. First of all, if you've been through something traumatic and you're alive, still breathe. So, it's gonna be okay. I know it doesn't seem like it, but you're here and you're alive, so just take a deep breath. And just know that it's okay to ask for help. It's also okay to ask for professional help. Your well-being is important. There's nothing wrong with getting help. It's actually a strength, not a weakness. So, having a support network, not everyone has like a family or a strong support network off the bat. So sometimes you kind of just gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps and kind of have to develop one for yourself, unfortunately. So kind of just being resourceful, maybe reaching out to like old teachers, counselors, going to your local library. Something you can also do for other people, like on the outside, if you know someone who's been through something traumatic, just like be compassionate, empathetic, understanding. If there's anything you can do to be helpful, like do things they like. Some things that have just helped me is just to always count my blessings and just basically thanking God that I'm alive, and just like turning my outlook around and realizing that I'm here for a reason. So yeah, today my reason for talking about PTSD is to just shine some light in the darkness and to just remind people that life is worth fighting for, because I was at such a dark place in life at one point, and now I'm just thanking God that I'm alive.